Margot Robbie is one of the hottest stars in Hollywood, and some will even claim that she looks like a real-life Barbie doll. Well, people are speculating that Margot has had a ton of plastic surgery.
Margot Robbie.
She's had work done, allegedly?
Yes, allegedly, lots of work done.
So what's the truth? Well, I'm a real plastic surgeon, and on this video, I'm gonna go over with you Margot Robbie through the years. How much plastic surgery has she really had done, in my opinion? I need to start this video by saying that I am not Margot Robbie's doctor, so everything in this video is my opinion based off of very careful analysis. Well, let's start by looking at Margot between the ages of 17 and 18, and in this video you can see that she looks kind of similar to the Margot Robbie that we know, but pay careful attention to her lower eyelids. She has kind of puffy lower eyelids for her age. Now, she's a beautiful young woman, and as a plastic surgeon, I wouldn't recommend any plastic surgery for her at all. Now let's take a look at some photos of Margie from her first television job, a show called Neighbors. And if you look closely at her lower eyelids, do they look different? Well, let's zoom in and take a look at her eyelids at that time. Now, she's probably between the ages of 19 and 20 at this time, and you can see the puffiness from her lower eyelids appears to have disappeared. Now, this is when I believe she may have undergone a very early lower blepharoplasty, and this is an operation to remove the fat that can cause the lower eyelids to look puffy. Now, I perform this operation all the time. It's a very simple operation where we make an incision on the inside of the eyelid and just tease that puffy fat out. It takes about an hour or so, and patients usually heal very, very quickly. But it is very unusual to do this surgery on somebody who is as young as she was at that time. But even though she is really young, I do think those changes are pretty visible. So I believe she may have had her lower eyelids done at the tender age of 18 or so. Now let's fast forward a couple of years to 2011. She is 21 years old, and take a look at her lips and her cheeks. They look a little bit puffy, right? Well, if you compare that photo to the one just 2 years before, she does look different. And this is when I believe Margot may have started doing injectable fillers. It appears to me that she may have had fillers injected into her cheeks, into her lips, and into potentially her chin. And if you look at these two photos, also from 2011, you can see that she looks fantastic, but maybe a little bit plumped up from that filler. Now let's move forward 2 more years to the age of 23, and you can see she looks, as usual, absolutely fantastic. But I do believe that she may have settled down on those fillers and stopped doing injections for a while because her lips do appear to have shrunken down a little bit in size, same with her cheeks and her chin. Basically, she looks a bit more natural here, and as always, she looks absolutely gorgeous. Now let's move forward 1 more year to 2014, and if you compare 2013 to 2014, she does look just a little more filled up, so I do believe in the meantime she may have undergone another very conservative injection of fillers. But what about Botox? Well, one of Margot Robbie's kind of signature traits, I guess, is that she has very arched, elevated brows. This is something that can be created with Botox, and I'm going to show you a bit later why I think she hasn't had a whole lot of Botox done. But if you just look at a photo like this, then you may think maybe she's had a bit, and maybe that could be creating the arching of her eyebrows that is so recognizable with her beautiful face. And let's move forward another year to 2015, and you can see this is kind of her photo where she looks a lot like Emma Stone. I do believe that she is continuing her treatments of filler in a very conservative, cautious manner, which is why she looks so fantastic and so natural. But I also think it's so important to realize that she has done a lot more than just filler. Now, I'm not talking about plastic surgery, but I'm talking about great skincare. She may be getting laser treatments and chemical peels and other types of treatments to help keep her skin looking so absolutely smooth and pristine. And we also have to keep in mind that she has the best makeup artists in Hollywood, and so that also is helping to make her skin look so perfectly smooth and wrinkle-free.
Then I apply a proprietary glycolic and pearl mask.
My hunt for the secrets of healthy and glowing skin all led me here, and I aim to find out why. I'll get to the bottom of this skincare mystery.
There's no mystery here. It's just Youn Beauty. Our products are packed with all the necessary ingredients that you need to help hydrate, protect, and revitalize your skin. It's really just that simple.
There's no way it's that simple. I'm on to you, bub.
Check out our online store at younbeauty.com or download the Youn Beauty app on your phone to order yours today. So now let's move forward one more year to 2016. As you can see, she looks almost the same, but take a closer look at her lips. So if you look carefully at her lips and you compare it back to when she was about 19 years old, you can see her lips look a little bit bigger than they used to be when she was younger. Well, our lips do get smaller as we age, and that's why lip injections are so popular amongst people who are in their 30s and 40s, even more so sometimes in people who are in their 20s. And this is most likely the greatest proof that Margot Robbie has probably had injections of filler to her lips, because lips don't just spontaneously enlarge in general as we get older. Lip filler or not, one thing that her injector has done is they have kept her lip proportions looking very natural. The lower lip should be ideally about 50% thicker than the upper lip. And it's when these proportions are done the opposite, where the upper lip is larger than the lower lip, that a person looks really unnatural and even like a duck. But that is definitely not Margot Robbie, because her lips, if they've been injected, which I think they have been, do look fantastic. Now, Margot is very interesting. If you look at her photos very closely, she does appear to get injections done and then lets them kind of wear off for a while, then maybe get them done again. So if we go forward another year in 2017 now, you can see that her lips have kind of settled down, and maybe the cheek filler has kind of settled down, and she looks very, very naturally beautiful. Now, if you take a close look at the photo of her smiling, you can see that there are absolutely no crow's feet, these types of wrinkles that should radiate from the sides of her eyelids. And this could be a sign that she has had Botox injections, but I'm going to cover that a little bit more in just a few minutes. So then if you proceed through 2018 and 2019, you can see she just looks naturally absolutely gorgeous. No obvious plastic surgery, maybe a touch of filler, but maybe not a whole lot at all. And then we hit the pandemic in 2020, and I have no photos of her from that year. Well, everything had opened back up in 2021, including plastic surgeons and dermatologists' offices, so I do believe that Margot may have gone back and had some more filler injected into her lips, her cheeks, and maybe her chin. Once again, it's very conservative and she looks fantastic. So before I show you photos of Margot Robbie today, you may be surprised that I haven't said she's had a bunch of plastic surgery done. So people have said that she has had surgeries like, let's say, a brow lift. Well, I don't think that is true, because her eyebrows have maintained the same shape over the years. She's had that characteristic high arch all her life, and her left eyebrow has always been a bit higher and more arched than her right. Some people may say that she's had a fox eye lift, and this is a procedure where you can lift the corners of the eyelids and the eyebrows. And that is definitely possible, although she did have it done, I think it most likely was non-surgical. It was just done with threads, in which case the results are typically temporary, lasting maybe 6 to 12 months. Because of that, this is not a procedure that I in general recommend, because you can definitely get complications and scar tissue from that procedure. And I do believe it's possible that she may have had a nose job a long time ago, possibly around the time that she may have had her lower eyelids done. But that nose job was so subtle that it's not super obvious exactly when that procedure was completed. But if I had to make a guess, I would guess that she may have had it done at the same time, possibly as her lower eyelids, around the age of 18. And how about Botox? Well, take a look at this video where she's talking in an interview and making all these facial expressions. If you have Botox, you cannot make those facial expressions that she is making, creating wrinkles in her forehead and in her frown line areas. So she did not have Botox actively working at the time that this interview was conducted. So now let's look at beautiful Margot Robbie today. Once again, she may have had a touch of filler, but it's not super obvious. Her skin looks pristine. She probably takes great care of her skin, and she may undergo non-invasive treatments like radiofrequency, like microneedling, like Morpheus 8, and all the plethora of treatments that we have available today. But I don't think that she has had any major surgery at all, at least since the age of about 18 or so. So what about her Barbie movie co-star Ryan Gosling? Has he had plastic surgery? I think he has. Take a peek at this video right up here where I go over what I think Ryan Gosling had. And remember, eat real food, use clean skincare, and auto-juvenate before you operate.
There is an idea of Margot Robbie, some kind of abstraction.